The way we cooked food, we didn't have a stove. There was no electricity. In my country, there was a saying that goes, up NEPA, meaning we would get excited when there was electricity because it didn't happen often. So when motherfuckers talk about race being such a big deal, it's a slap in the face.
All right, I'm gonna have to bring out the blackboard for this one. How did two people with similar experiences come to two different conclusions? Okay, all right. Let's FedEx Fearless is his name, right? Similar experience, me and him, both Nigerians. I know the up NEPA thing, came to America, whatever, right? So he's saying he was poor because the whole idea of this is that race has nothing to do with nothing, and he's sick of that, and he don't want to hear people. It's just about working hard and you be successful in America. All right, cool. I'm okay with that, right? So he's poor, black, worked hard in Nigeria, right? Can y'all see this? I know my handwriting sucks, but in Nigeria, okay? But he was still poor, okay? Worked hard, black in Nigeria, still poor. All right, he's saying, came to America, so here's the formula. I get it, land of opportunity, right? Okay, and he's saying, worked hard, and success. Cool, I'm with you. Here's where we agree, okay? I think this is personal responsibility. And I think in the formula of getting success, right? Everything I agree with, I'm putting green. Or everything our brains make sense, I'm putting green. There's personal responsibility. A lot of people, when they do these type of talking points, they try to act like this don't exist. I'm with him. Responsibility. All right? Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. I don't even have to spell it out. You get it. All right? My question, though, is that my problem is this is surface level thinking. Okay? Everything I disagree with or I have a question about, I'm going to put it in red. And my question for you is, if working hard is all you need to get success, why not rich in Nigeria? Very interesting. He brought up the up NEPA thing, right? It's an electricity issue. Now, if you don't know, he said in this video, he said, hey, dog, listen, when I was younger, we would be celebrating because the electricity came on. I told y'all a story about like how back in the day, like one of the dictators when I was really young passed and people were celebrating. I thought the electricity was back on. And they was like, nah, it's the dictator passed, right? Pretty weird. So why is up NEPA a thing in Nigeria? None of these two things, because he says he's already working hard, have to do with personal responsibility. Because if work hard equals success and you're already working hard, why are you not rich in Nigeria? What personal responsibility does he have to control the National Association or whatever of electricity, National Electricity, blah, blah, whatever NEPA stands for? I don't really know. I don't really care. They can go to hell, right? Okay, so it seems like those are systemic issues. But on your diatribe, you ignore that because it's cognitive dissonance. It would basically not help confirming this bias that you had, you know, how some black people in America don't work hard. Okay? You're with me. Okay? So systemic issues exist. You start noticing past surface level thinking. Think about said systemic issues. In my opinion, and based on my readings, this is what I've had found. Colonial history of countries like Nigeria, etc. Okay? Congos, all right? Some worse than the other. Guess who's responsible for that? Shocker. European white folks. Okay? Okay? Some of those things have long-lasting effects. So you'll get tribal wars because how was the country carved up? Because a lot of us didn't carve that up. Then you have issues with resources. Nigeria is probably, honestly, one of the better countries with this, but it still has a problem with things like oil and refineries, things like that, but whatever. You have a problem with resources. If they ain't looting your resources still, even though they're giving you independence, they found a way to still make more money off your resources. Okay? And the money that's trickling back to the country, okay? All right, you with me? Okay? You have corruption, bad governance, bribery, etc. Okay? Bribery. All right? Whatever. Now, these people do look like us. But remember, this is not personal responsibility. This is a government issue, right? So we admit this is a government issue, right? No matter what you look like. So it seems like, FedEx Fearless, as you used to fetch water in Nigeria, because you have to work hard, we agree, working hard is a necessity in Nigeria. To survive. Forget being rich, to survive. I could even argue, very similar to America, which I'm going to get to on that side. It's actually the people that are willing to be corrupt, bribery and all that thing that get rich. Working hard is not the only thing needed to get rich in Nigeria, right? I don't think this is a good thing. Nobody should be working every single hour of the day, all right? So we're going to move quick. Let's go on to this next side, all right? You with me? I'm going to draw a straight line here, a little divided, okay? Shout out to my dad, because my dad's the reason why I don't let other Nigerians like this. And I'm going to explain why I think it's a disservice to us Nigerians, too, when we keep peddling this nonsense, okay? So in America, all right, we're in America now, you can say, all right, you're trying to say if you work hard, be successful in America. Let me point out something real quick. I'm going to make like a little circle right here. There's something that happens here, okay, that not only just black immigrants, almost every immigrant can do, which is you are able to ignore all of this, act like it never happened, right? Land of opportunity, come in fresh, be willing to do whatever because you know this is not your country, right? Whatever, legally, sometimes illegally, but legally, to be successful in America. Now, let me give America some credit. At least in America, if you work hard, you can be above what poor is considered, right? So you can, that's again, personal responsibility. I'm with him, right? But you would probably need to erase some of the trauma, right? So let's just, are you with me? Okay, so we got rich. This is America now. We got middle class, and we got poor, okay? But we've agreed America's poor is not like Nigeria's poor, okay? So now when you talk about black people in America that tend to live in, let's say, these neighborhoods, right? That's what you're saying. What they don't need to do is ignore this. There's a connection here. You're able to ignore this when you come to America. You can't ignore it in Nigeria. I know that for a fact. Because you're born here. Your history's here, right? So you have to think of this, right? And does luck help sometimes? Yes, but let's go. Systemic issues. Okay. Slavery. Jim Crow. Okay. American whites responsible. Effects still felt today, right? Still felt today. Okay. So American whites. Right? Okay. Then you have not personal responsibility, corruption in these middle class urban cities, right? Bad governance. So that's government. Okay? Oh, you see the similarities? Okay, cool. Now, what it is just like Nigeria and just like America, why are we acting like there are some black people that can't work past this? They can. I agree with you. A little bit of luck, personal responsibility, yes. But just like in Nigeria and some Nigerians can work past this, that's not the norm. It shouldn't be normalized because that's exactly why you had to come to America. Now, okay? So what happens is by ignoring this to chastise this group, there's another thing happening in Nigeria as well, which is foreigners, some now black, because y'all had these discussions, but Chinese people, Arabic people, are able to come into Nigeria and be successful. And they are starting to ask the same thing, right? Why not rich in Nigeria? Meanwhile, they're ignoring the benefits that they have from being from another country. Okay? We do ourselves a disservice back and forth when we do this nonsense. All right? This personal responsibility matter, but when we group everybody as a race and say, oh, why you're not successful, don't talk to me about race, you're lazy, etc. We can ask the same questions. Right? Okay, good talk. I hope I explained this well. I might have to do a part 2.